Hey Paula Dean, and hey ladies out there, it's Stephanie Pope, and man oh man, I have just had a wonderful time with this contest, and it's actually been my first contest I've ever entered, and I'm really having a great experience, and I'm hoping to, have more fun with more contests. So today, is dessert and something I'm so enthusiastic about, and I love to make, and I love to share and see the reaction, like and ah. So I just love dessert. And of course we have our Philadelphia cream cheese inside this cake and in the frosting. I'm telling you, this gives it such a rich texture. So we're going to make my 3 layers to heaven cake because it has 3 layers. It's kind of a cross between a cake and a pie. So I'm just gonna call it a cake because I like cake. Anywho, I just want to thank all of my family and friends out there who are watching my video, and hey, and of course for their dedication. They email me and let me know how I do, and they say, that wasn't so good, or ooh, do this next time, or other things. So I just really want to thank my family and friends, and I actually really want to dedicate this recipe to them. So and a big shout out to Philadelphia cream cheese themselves, and Paula Dean, because this would never have happened without you guys. And so I really, from the bottom of my heart, thank you for giving us all of us, this opportunity. And it's so bittersweet to make this video because it's our last video. But I'm really excited. I read that cookbook stuff you're doing, and I'm really hoping I'm going to submit some more recipes. So let's get started on my 3 layers to heaven cake. The first part of our 3 layer to heaven cake is, of course, the crust. So this is made up of 4 cups of cornflakes. I tried other cereals when I was designing this recipe, and they seem to work the best because they have a really great texture, like a small crunch. And of course, I add 3 tablespoons of sugar to add just a little bit of sweetness because they're not artificial sweetened, which is actually a good thing. So I add a little bit of sugar, and then I have a whole stick of butter, okay? So I'm gonna pop my lid on, turn this on, and stream in my butter. And then just scoop out all of your yummy crust. And I have a 9 by 13 pan, and it's kind of going to be a thin crust. Let me move it so you can see it. So here's my pan, and I'm just pushing this in all the corners. If you really see that, you really want to make a thin crust. All right, our crust is all done. It's all laid out nice and thin. Now we're going to start the filling part of our cake. So we have 8 ounces of our cream cheese, and this is softened. A trick for you, I actually forgot to put it out before I went to work. So I was like, crud, I came home and it was hard as a rock. So I have an electric oven, and so I put it on about, 300, and I just set it on top and I flip it over a few times. So there's my tip. If you have an electric oven, if you have any other type of oven, I don't know what it would do, so be careful with that. But it's perfect. I had it thawed in probably about 10 minutes. It was really, really great. Anywho, so I have my 8 ounces of cream cheese, and I'm going to cream that together. I have an array of sugar. Let's see. I have a cup of dark brown sugar, a half a cup of light brown or golden brown sugar, and a half a cup of regular sugar. You can't really see it in there, but it's in there. All right, so I want to get all this in there, and I'm going to cream this together. Make sure it really creams through. It might even take like 2 to 3 minutes to get this really creamy, and put it on medium speed. All right, it's been about a minute, so it's really creamy, and sometimes the brown sugar will clump, and so you want all of those clumps really smooth. So I have, make sure it's on low when you add the rest of the stuff, 2 tablespoons, not 2 teaspoons, tablespoons of good vanilla. Like I said in my last video, my vanilla I make with rum, and I take 2 vanilla beans and slice them, and I let them sit for a couple days, and then I use them. So my cake is kind of got a little kick to it. So add that in. And then I have 2 eggs. I want to add them one at a time. I'm really big on incorporating them slowly. So there's one. And really you just want to wait for it. It'll bob, it's like bobbing around in there. It's not breaking yet, so you have to give it a minute. Oh, there it goes. All right, so it's almost good. You kind of just don't want to see any yellow. All right, we're good. So I'm going to add my other one. That one broke much quicker. All right, so you want to mix this through until it's really, really good and mixed. So now for our dry ingredients. I have 2 cups of flour, and if you can see just the light little hint in there, that's a 1.5 teaspoons of baking powder. That's going to make it puff a little bit. The way I remember is soda makes it sink, and powder makes it puff. So whenever I make recipes, I always have to think the soda sink, powder puff. So that'll help you with your next recipe. So put this on at a really low speed and just add this in a little bit at a time. And that's it. So I have all of my filling, and I'm just gonna gently, see, I'm just like kind of, you don't wanna ever pull like I would pull away. You always wanna push. Here's our cake. We have a 350-degree oven, and I'm gonna bake it for about 22 to 25 minutes. Now, if you want it more cake-like, 25 is the one you want. If you want it like gooey, just a little bit, kind of like the inside of a brownie, you want it more towards the 22 side. So you pick which one you want. All right, and when it's all done, we're gonna start the frosting. Our 3 layers to heaven cake just came out of the oven. Now the best way to figure out if this is done, you don't need one of those toothpicks. When you pick it out of the oven, give it a shake, and if it doesn't jiggle, it's good to go. And I baked it again for about 22 minutes because I want mine a little gooey in the center for those that want it gooey, and a little bit fluffier on the outside like a cake for those who want it that way. I myself, I like one of each. So now we have our frosting. On my double broiler, I had a full bag of semi-sweet chocolates. And now, do you remember last week I made steak a la saucy sauce, and I only used 4 ounces? So this week I got to reuse my 4 ounces. I'm all about reusing. So you're just gonna add in 4 ounces of your cream cheese. So my cake just came out of the oven maybe about 2 or 3 minutes ago. So you can go ahead and put it on when it's still warm. It'll actually help coat easier. So just spread our frosting, our fudge frosting, all over the cake. All right, so now just take your spatula and just spread it all over. This all by itself looks like heaven, and that's why I call it my 3 layers to heaven cake. All right, let's serve it up. All right, our 3 layers to heaven cake is all done. It looks delicious. So I'm gonna cut it up and serve it and have a taste. Oh, this looks so good. Can you see that? Oh, and it has our cream cheese inside. It has our cream cheese outside. And it is just so delicious. And I was talking about toppings earlier. These are little chocolate bits. So I thought, ooh, how fun. So I have some chocolate bits on my plate. Yum, yum. So let's give it a shot. Oh, I have everything in this bite. I have one of my butterscotch chips. I have chocolate. I have my little crust. I have everything. I just need to take a bite. Wow, so tasty. I'm just gonna have to eat that whole thing before dinner. Well, ladies out there, I'm Holidine. I really thank you again for this opportunity, and I can't wait to keep making recipes for your cookbook, and good luck to everybody else out there. I've had a blast, and I'm sure you've had too. Take care, everyone.